John Cena's surgery is a success. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the General Jerry channel, the number one source for WWE news today. I upload WWE news every single day for the fans. I just want to thank you all. The Jerry the King Lawler video got over 1,000 views in less than 12 hours of uploading. It got like 1,000 views, I think, in like 6 hours of it uploading. I just want to thank you all for your support. We have a lot of subscribers here on the General Jerry channel, and yes, I'm back consistently uploading WWE news. The fans have answered, and I will do my best on giving you the best WWE news. But enough of that shit, let's get into the John Cena news right now. John Cena's injury surgery is a massive success. John Cena has undergone successful surgery for his injured shoulder. WWE.com confirmed the news on their website, in addition to posting photos of the positive-looking Cena. His rehab and recovery begins now on what the Wrestling Observer newsletter reported as a 6 to 9 month layoff. In the past, he has come back quickly with recovery time, so there's always a possibility he might be back quicker. However, now at 38 years of age, chances of finding his injury and coming back and bouncing back to WWE for WrestleMania are looking slim, and it probably won't happen. The Cena story on WWE.com were a series of photos revealing that Cesaro came to visit Cena in the hospital. Both men are firm friends, and Cesaro also was sidelined with a shoulder injury. A common passion they have both is heavy weightlifting, and it is suspected that has been a factor for their injury. So I actually want to get into details about this. Me and Bringer Rain and WJ, as well as Terrence, Stageman, Jimmy, etc., on the last SmackDown spoilers talked about it. For those that missed it, I'll give you some more information. A lot of the pro wrestling insiders and the dirt sheets, etc., they believe that the reason why a lot of these wrestlers are injured, is because, especially those that do power moves, is actually a factor for these shoulder injuries. John Cena is a big power lifter. He does Olympic style training, such as squats, deadlift, etc., and what happens is that it does take its toll on its shoulder. The same thing applies with Cesaro. He actually does the same training as John Cena with Olympic style weightlifting. And what's happened is that over through months and years, etc., while you're doing this Olympic style training, also taking bumps in the ring, also these, if they're doing like an Extreme Rules match or a TLC, these bumps eventually take its toll, and what we've seen is an overload of injuries. And apparently what the dirt sheets are saying right now is why this is happening is because of this Olympic style training. Reports are saying right now that WWE were in a meeting a few days ago, and they're discussing about the injuries, and apparently Vince McMahon wants wrestlers to change the way they train. It's not so much their in-ring style, it's so much their training that they do outside the ring, because these WWE wrestlers, they're constantly on the road, they go to different gyms, but their training does stay the same. They do Olympic style training. There's two different styles of training right now, what a lot of wrestlers are doing. Number one is the Olympic style training, like I previously said, with Cesaro and John Cena. I believe Rusev does it as well with Olympic style training, as well as many other wrestlers like Ryback, etc. I mean, Ryback was injured as well with the Olympic style training. The other set of training is CrossFit. It's like what mainly what Seth Rollins does. Now, CrossFit, it wasn't a factor for Seth Rollins being injured. It was more of his in-ring style. Whenever he was wrestling in Dublin, Ireland, he hurt his leg, and that's exactly what happened. So honestly, WWE now are in a meeting. They are discussing whether or not to change up the style of wrestling. They might send a memo out to wrestlers to say, hey, slow down on the fucking training. We know you guys want to look big in the ring, but unfortunately you're going to look big, but you're gonna be injured. I did training before. I used to be a personal trainer, and when I used to do the Olympic style thing as well. And what happens is that the actual I also did the curl, where you ever seen when you have the pad and you lift it. And what happened is that my hand was actually fractured. It wasn't an injury, where, oh, I lifted it and then snap, it broke. It wasn't like that. It was over time and time and time, probably with poor form as well, because the thing is that the heavier you go, the poorer the form that you're gonna have. And these wrestlers are, and Cena's no fucking young guy. I mean, the guy's nearly hitting 40 right now, and it does beg the question, could Cena retire? I can't see him retiring anytime soon. He will probably bounce back. And a matter of fact, in the interview he had with Y2J, even before this injury, when he had the United States Championship, Cena said in the interview that he was actually getting stronger than what he was in his 20s. The Rock, for example, a lot of people want to know, well, if this guy's really old, how is he so big? Is because of this Olympic style training. It helps your muscle condition, etc., etc. But the problem is, if you do poor form, or you're lifting way too much heavy shit that you shouldn't be, eventually it will be fractured, and eventually the bone itself will hurt over time. That's what happened to me. In fact, I had a shoulder problem as well, because when I was squatting and etc., the bar itself was bedding into my shoulder, and it actually hurt my shoulder. Now, it wasn't serious, but the bar itself is heavy enough. I'm just saying this for people that don't train, that might want to understand this. The bar itself is heavy enough on its own with Olympic style. It's not like if you're lifting dumbbells, that dumbbell itself is the weight. But with Olympic style, you're adding on an extra 20 kilograms on top of that Olympic style. So, General Jerry knows everything. I bet you all didn't think I would know about that. I know about personal training, everyone's wondering, how the fuck does Jerry know about this bullshit? There's plenty of stuff you don't know about me, but I will continue. For the future, WWE should perhaps look at clauses for contracts in hopes of better protecting its investments. While in the gym, work is essential for maintaining WWE look, as well as many wrestlers and benefits to their Olympic performance, Olympic-style weight training is completely unnecessary for wrestlers like John Cena. Regardless, Cena is now on the mend. More details as when they come available. Now the photos right now, oh, that looks nasty. I'll the links in the description below if you want to check the full pictures out as well. Honestly, though, it's going to be very interesting to see, because John Cena's always lived by this Olympic style training. Usually people in the gym or whatever, they do have to train up their training. They do have to essentially training to train, if that makes sense, because what happens is that if you do the same exercise over and over again, it actually doesn't shock the muscles as much, and you're not actually lifting and pushing yourself as much as you can. And also with his Olympic style training, it's reached a limit, so he may have to do something different. I can't see him doing CrossFit as far as I'm aware. I don't think Cena does CrossFit. It's more Olympic style training, but it'll be interesting to see what he does. He may have to change up his routine in terms of training, but obviously WWE might talk to other wrestlers doing this style of training. Guys, let me know what you think about Cena's recovery. What they're saying right now, it's 6 to 9 months for recovery, but who knows? Cena could come back, you never know. Soon, because Cena, he does recover very quickly. The problem is with that, though, is that you might come back quickly, but then you might injure yourself even quicker than what you did before. So it's best for Cena to take a long time out, and then when he progresses, then he might have a longer stint in WWE. Anyway, guys, this is General Jerry on the General Jerry channel, signing out.